Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with the Holy Roller playing craps on a cruise to win a free cruise, and today we're going to talk about the odds and how they work on a Royal Caribbean cruise. You'll be surprised, it's way different.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps and winning free cruises. I'm going to show you what it's all about, so let's get rolling.
Right, there are several things that are different when playing craps on a cruise, and today I'm simply going to do a short video to just talk about the odds, because I think that's one of the biggest things that people have a hard time understanding. And most tables are $10 tables, so if you had a $10 bet, 4, 5, or 6, and it's the same for the 10, 9, and 8, 3, 4, 5 times odds. However, on a Royal Caribbean ship on a $10 table, you can only play single odds. So $10 here gets $10 here, and that is it. Doesn't matter what the point is, it's single odds when you play $10 or the table minimum. Now you could go up to $15, and this is what I'll talk about in just a moment, but I want to talk about if you go up to $25. So let me just put it like this. I'll do a $10, and then I'm going to do a $15, and then I'm going to do a $25. And so I'll show you, and then of course I'll even do a $50 right there. These are the different amounts that you can put on the pass line when playing. And so if you were doing 10, it's single odds. Now this one is kind of tricky to understand, but I figured out a way to figure it out that makes it pretty simple. Now this is so strange, but it's actually the way they play on a Royal Caribbean ship for craps. If you have $15 and you have a 4 or a 10, which would be the 3 times odds on a regular table, think about it like this. If you have 3, you're able to put 3 on a 4 and a 10. So 3 times odds, 3 chips for $15, 3 $5 checks. 3, 4, or 5. So a 5 or 9, you're able to do 4 chips. So instead of 4 times odds, it's 4 chips for your $15. And yep, you guessed it, on a 6 and 8, you're able to do a 5 chips for $15. So in other words, you could put $25 on a 6 and 8, or 5 chips when you have 15, 5 and 9, 4 chips, and a 4 and a 10, 3 times odds? Nope, 3 chips. All right, I know that might be confusing, so let me just do it one more time. When you have $15 on the pass line, if it's a 4 or 10, you can put 3 units of 5 each, so 15 for 15. 3 for 3. So 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Think about it like that. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So instead of 3, 4, 5 times odds, you could put 3, 4, or 5 checks. I hope that makes sense. So a 6 and 8, 15, you could put 25 behind. A 5 and 9, you could put 20 behind. And a 4 and 10, you could put 15 if you have 15. All right, let's talk about the $25 check here. If you play $25 on the pass line, it is the same as this, except for you could do double odds. So you could do 25, but you can also do 50. So you could go up to $50 if you do 25 on every number. Doesn't matter. And finally, $50 on the pass line will get you true odds, which is the 3, 4, 5 times odds. So if you're able and willing really to do $50 on the pass line, that would get you the 3, 4, and 5 times odds on the numbers. Now it's important to know that all these odds are the same when you're playing the come bet and you have your moving bet if you play odds. Now obviously you should know this, but in every casino you never ever get comp on your odds. So if you played $50 here and you were able to do 250 behind the line, you still would only count for a $50 bet, not a $300 bet. That's how the comps or the points work. They never count odds on your comp value. So that's why I usually don't play odds. A lot of people might not know this, but I would actually suggest not playing pass line with odds if you're not the shooter, because you can get a better payout by having a place bet for the same amount of money. Now, you are playing for the 7-11 on the come out, and if you like that advantage, then go for it. Play your pass line with odds. But if you're looking to just make money on the point that's established, then I would say wait for a point to be established and then put your money out then. So let's give an example of the single odds, and I would say that's the same in every casino. Unless you're doing 5 times odds or higher, it really doesn't make sense to play the pass line with odds because you would get paid more if you just place the bet. Now I understand this is how most people like to play and they were taught to play, but remember, you don't have to play the pass line or the don't pass if you're not the shooter of the dice. So let's look at these scenarios and see how it would happen. Let's say we rolled the 4 and the point becomes 4. Now the point is 4 and we have to roll a 4 before a 7 in order to pass or win. Now if we won the 4, we would get paid even money on our flat bet and we would get paid double on our odds. So a $20 bet would be paid $30. Now if you took that same $20 and placed the 4 instead, you would have to pay $1 for VIG to buy the bet, but that would pay for $21, just $1 more than this. It would actually pay $38 instead of $30. So a difference of $7 just by playing the point rather than playing the pass line. All right, let's do the same thing at the $15 level. So on a 4 and 10 for $15, because it's 3, you can only put 3 units behind, so that's $15. That's a total of $30 that you would be betting for your win. If it hits on the pass line, you would get paid 15 right here, and you would get paid 30 back here for a total of $45 on the pass line if the 4 hits before the 7. Now, if you took the same $30, you would pay $1 for the VIG and you'd have a $30 4. And for $31 paying that VIG, you would actually get paid more than you would here. $30 here versus $30 there, you get paid more there. What about the $75? So on the pass line, you would get paid even money here, and then you would get double here for a total of $125 for your $75 bet. Now, if you put the same $75 on the 4 or 10, if that's the point, you'd have to pay a $2 VIG, and then if that hits, instead of $125, you'd actually get paid $150 minus that $2 VIG, so you definitely get paid more by placing the number rather than playing the pass line. All right, finally, let's do the true odds of 3, 4, 5 times. This would be 3 times odds, $150 behind for a total of $200. If you would win, you would get 50 for your flat bet and 150 plus another 150 for a total of $350 off of your $200 bet. What if we took the same $200 and placed it on the 4? This would actually cost $10 for the VIG, which is a 5% commission to place the bet. And instead of getting $350 for your $200, you would actually get $400 minus that $10. So $390 rather than $350, that's a difference of $40. And all of that difference taking less money simply because people were playing the pass line and playing really for the come out roll of the 7-11. And most of the time you'd have to hit the 7 or 11 more than once actually to break even or make more money than if you just place the bet itself. And don't forget the big kicker here. The big kicker for me is that I would be rated for a $200 bet out there, but here I would get rated for a $50 bet, even though I'm putting $200 at risk over here, because the odds don't count towards average bet. I'd rather play it there. Not only do I get rated better at the table for the odds, but I also get paid more by having it over there. Now, I understand that 7 and 11s may come often, but if you really wanted to play the 7-11, why not just bet a 15 for 1 rather than even money if it hits here, or a 5 for 1 bet on the 7 rather than even money here? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but when they come, the 7s come in more than one, and so if I hit it more than once, then it would make sense. Okay, that's great. Did you know you could play $5 on any 7? If that hits more than once, you can get $100 off that bet just by parlaying the first one? Your $5 turns into $25, and then your $25 turns into 100 with 2 hits of the 7. If you think it's going to hit a third time, that could turn into $400. Off of a $5 bet, I think that's a better bet than hoping that it hits on the pass line. Now, everything I just showed you was on the 4, which is the highest payout possible. And the other numbers don't pay out as high, especially back here. So it actually makes even more sense to play the number out there if it's not a 4 or 10. This is going to be your best odds or your best payout on a 4 and 10, and it doesn't get any better if you do a 5, 6, 8, or 9. I would say always to place the number rather than play odds back here and play the pass line. If you're not the shooter, why play this? It doesn't make sense at these odds on a cruise ship because you can't go over 5 times odds. And if you do, you're risking $50 to do it. You might as well just play place bets. Now, some people might say, Brian, what about odds on the come bets? Would you play odds on the come bets? Now, it's the same thing. So no, I wouldn't play odds on the come bet. In fact, I don't really do come bets unless I do one strategy and I do it flat. I don't do odds because, like I said, I want to be rated for every dollar that I have on the table, just the flat bet, and they don't count the odds. I want all my money to count towards a free cruise when I'm playing craps on a cruise. All right, I did mention that this is a $10 minimum table, and there is something else that's pretty unique and pretty interesting when it comes to playing craps on a cruise with Royal Caribbean. It is the field bet. Let's talk about that field bet just for one moment. On a $10 table at any other casino, you would have a $10 minimum because that's the minimum of the table in the field. The prop bets over there would normally be a minimum of $1. And on the cruises, they treat the field a lot of times just like a prop bet. So most of them have a minimum in the field of $1 instead of the $10 minimum of the table. Now, some of them have a minimum of $5, even though it's a $10 table. You'll have to check the table when you go. But even a $5 on a $10 minimum is pretty interesting when you're thinking of like playing the Iron Cross and having your $10 level and your $5 level in the field. Well, I know that was a short video, but it's talking about the odds, and I know it could be really confusing here just talking about these odds, and that's why I really don't play the odds, but I know some of you want to and may want to, so I figured you'd want to know how it works while you're playing craps on a cruise to win a free cruise with Royal Caribbean. Note that I've heard that not all cruise ships are like it. It's just Royal Caribbean. But the one thing about Royal Caribbean that I think is very unique is that they make their comp system or winning a free cruise very clear and to the point, so you know how many points you need to get a free cruise. There's no guesswork involved, and I've heard that many other cruise lines, there's no real formula and people don't know how they get free offers. They just play as much as they can and hope to get a free offer. With Royal Caribbean and playing craps on a cruise and watching this channel, you'll be able to see how many points to get and how we get the points. In as little as 2 or 3 sessions, we can win a free cruise. And if you want to know more about playing craps on a cruise to win a free cruise, watch this video and don't forget to subscribe to the Holy Roller, and I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.